Day 5 of Hot Rod Power Tour. It ends in success. Stick with us and see what it's like at Bristol. Thanks for joining Shift Points. Good early morning from day 5 of the Hot Rod Power Tour. We had about a 45-minute drive up to where we're meeting everybody. So we went ahead and got up pretty early. We got to stop and get gas and a few other things. We're heading up that way now. Get to drive on the interstate a little bit. So this thing did pretty good, running about 80 yesterday on the way down here. So let's see how it does this morning. First stop today is Concord, North Carolina. Like I said there at the beginning, it's day 5. The sun is actually up now that I'm filming, and we've got everybody gathered up. Lenny's going to meet us up in Bristol. We picked up Jeff Moulds. He's with us now too, so we've still got our 5-car train that we've had, well, not the exact same one, but at least a 5-car train that we've had for the past few days. So we're heading up that way. We're going to try and kind of book it up there as best we can. We're going to take the route and everything, but if Bristol's anything like Charlotte was yesterday, it's going to be crazy slammed, and I'm guessing with it being Friday that it probably will be. So we're going to just see where it takes us. It's taking us up 321 past Boone, and I think the drive today is going to be really nice. And I imagine there'll probably be less cars like on the regular route today, just because I'd say most people are going to try and get straight there best they can to make sure that they get there early enough, I guess. So we're gonna keep with the route and follow it, and get there. And today we'll pick up our long hauler badge. We get our credentials stamped for the 5th and final time, and we'll be ready to go. It's been a really good few days. It's been a long few days, especially this morning, yesterday, and all of that, trying to get that fuel leak fixed last night. That kind of run us a little later than we had been, especially, and we had to get up earlier than we have been this morning. Fixing the fuel leak did not work. It's still there. And we're thinking that maybe that might have been more, at least maybe as much or more of the issue than the fuel tank vent itself. We are going to just ease up through here, get up there today. When we get home, we're going to drop the tank and figure out what's going on. We don't know if the fuel neck, the rubber hose fuel neck, if it's split or something's happened like that. But the only way we'll know is when we get home. So we're just going to burn as much of this gas out we filled up this morning. We're going to burn as much of this tank out as we can today, get it down, and then we'll drop the tank when we get home. Luckily, dropping the tank on this thing is really not a big deal. I think it's 12 bolts or something, all in-threaded inserts. So put a jack under it, and all you got to do is pull them bolts and set the whole thing down. So no big deal, but we're just gonna to drop it at least. But we're gonna ease up through here and get up there today and see what's going on in Bristol. finally kind of getting through some of these little towns that have blown up. It's like being back home where there's been a lot of people come into these areas, and it was a little hectic. A lot of red lights, construction work this morning down that way, which is a little hectic. But man, we just passed the biggest group of people that we've seen sitting on the side of the roads for all 5 days so far. It's cool. It's really neat to see that people would come out. You know, it's 8:30 in the morning, and people are sitting out by the road just watching cars go by, waving with signs and stuff like that. It's pretty neat to see that and see that people are that interested to come see something like this. And you know, it's 5 days of it, so we'll just keep going now. The other thing that we did last night I told you guys about was turning the idle down about 100 RPM. That seems to have made a really big difference. You saw it last night. It wasn't trying to take off like it had been. Dad said driving it this morning that it's really that it has really helped it a bunch. It doesn't try and load the brakes up and stuff as much as it has been and things like that. I think when we get to this next stop, we're gonna make a stop up here just to bathroom break and all that good stuff. We're going to drop in another 50 and see how it acts. It's still a little, you know, it's still a little trying to pull a little bit. Like when you let off the brakes, it's ready to go. So we're thinking maybe if we pull it 50 more RPM out of it, that it might do a little better. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the computer out and do that, and then have it ready to go. So when we stop, all I'm gonna do is write it up to the computer real quick. Decided to hook up the computer while we were going down the road here and just kind of check out the fuel trims. They're kind of way out of whack. We had them really close when we left, but they've kind of, I don't know what's going on there. I'll have to talk to Matt and figure out what would cause that to do that, for them to kind of jump out. Now, he did tell us at low RPMs he saw what he thought was probably a little bit of an exhaust leak, which was kind of causing them to kind of act goofy when we at low RPMs when we were with him. So that could possibly be it still. We did put in the H-pipe. Me and Dad talked about it. It's all clamped in. Probably be a good idea to take and weld that up at some point. But we wanted it in for this trip and didn't want to take that time to do it. So I'm logging in here. I'm going to take this data and try and fix the tune a little bit whenever we get back, or whatever our next stop. We're going to stop up here at a parts store. Like I told you guys, that fuel leak's still not fixed. Dad thinks that he's come up with a solution. I'll show you when we get there, or at least not a solution, but a fix to get us through for the rest of the day. And Toby needs some shocks for his truck, so we're going to stop up here at a Napa. Bobby, you'll be happy we're going to a Napa, not an O'Reilly's this time. So we're going to head up here to a Napa, see what they've got for both of us, see if we can get this fixed. And while they do that, I'm going to upload these fuel trims real quick and see if we can make this thing run a little better than it has been. It's not been doing bad, there's just room for improvement. By far the most people that have been out is today, and we're probably only like halfway there, and we've seen probably twice as many today as we've seen even yesterday, and I thought there was quite a few yesterday. It's really cool. I've been trying to get a bunch of them because it's pretty neat to see all these people just hanging out. Everybody just sitting around having a good time like these people. Okay, we're back on the road. We stopped at the Napa store, but they didn't have any shocks for Toby's truck, so we just didn't mess with ours because it's burned down enough to where it's not running out anymore. And we'll just, instead of trying to make a temporary fix, we'll get it home and fully fix it. We're gonna kind of go rogue a little bit here. The route, I looked at the route, man. It's just, I guess it's through all those small towns and stuff up there. There was red pretty much the whole route on the GPS, and I don't think any of us are interested in sitting in traffic. And I'm sure everybody's trying to do the route and get there in time and all this stuff. So we're gonna go a little different way. It's not the interstate or anything like that. It still should be really nice, really pretty, going up past Brown Mountain that way and then through Elizabeth. And so it should be really nice still. There's going to be some good roads, but we're not going to be sitting in traffic, hopefully, knock on wood, fingers crossed. we won't be setting in traffic here on this way, and this will let everybody just kind of take a breather. Because man, it's been a little intense this morning. Hey, we come this way when we went to North Wilkesboro.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we come past this self-storage place when we went to North Wilkesboro. What are we? Is this 18?
18.
No, it's 64. 1864. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we come this way. I thought it looked familiar when we pulled through there. Yeah. Yeah. So, but anyway, sorry. But we're gonna get going here. Go up this way and save some time, about an hour at least according to the GPS. Make sure we get to Bristol in time. I know everybody is wanting to get there and make sure we get checked in and get our stuff that we get for the long haul and probably get home, to be honest. Like 5 days is a long trip, and it's been a ton of fun, and we're ready to kind of finish strong here. So I'll show you guys what we see as we go along. Took some really good pictures. I'm gonna just kind of take all the pictures that I took this week and just do kind of a big dump onto Facebook later next week sometime, maybe Monday. And but I've got the computer hooked up to this thing. I've been messing with field trips. And I finally got them. You know what I think is really good. They're supposed to be plus or minus like 5 or so, and we're setting it like plus or minus 3 pretty much everywhere. The way right now, like right where Dad is now, where we were kind of off throttle cruising, that's where we had been getting like the worst. It was like super fat. It was having to pull a bunch of fuel out. So like right now, they're doing really good. So I'm not gonna mess with them anymore. When we get down here, I'm gonna call this good. Put the computer up. It sounds better. It had a little bit of like a sputter spit, like especially when you lift off throttle, kind of you just hear it in the exhaust, kind of a buh 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 kind of noise. So we thought maybe that has seemed to have gotten better. So that's good. So we made some improvements. I didn't care to do this as we were getting a little closer. To home, so it worked out pretty good. All right, we just crossed over into Tennessee. We've got lunch. We're heading in. Should be there about 1:30, hopefully. It looks a little rainy, cloudy, but I checked the weather. It looks like we're supposed to be okay. I hope we don't have to test out these windshield wipers if we haven't even turned them on yet. Hopefully we don't have to. Trimec and American Powertrain are doing a giveaway at 3 o'clock. It's a random draw. You got tickets if you went to their booths during the week, and they're giving away a complete package just like the one that I got for my truck, and except you can pick any transmission in their lineup, which is really cool. They've got some really nice heavy duty stuff. So we're gonna see if we can win that. Maybe get it for, I don't know, the 55 streetcar or something. So we'll figure that out. And but yeah, so we're trying to make sure we get there well before 3 o'clock so we can get in, get punched in, be there for the giveaway. And then, like I said earlier, when that happens, we're probably going to hit the road and start heading back to Marshall. So far, so good. Everybody's been good. Toby still didn't get any shocks. We didn't go through Boone, so we didn't stop at the other Napa store there where we were to see if they had any. But anyway, he'll have to get him some when we get done with this, I guess. I guess he's made it this far. His back will survive it until we get back home. So, well, it looks like we made it. I think we're gonna head down here and see what we get here. We're at the drag strip, and I think this is where we're supposed to go in. At least that's the address they had on the route. So, let's find out how it's going. Looks like there's a bunch of cars here, a bunch. think this is a good time to remind everybody to go check out the Super Chevy from 1994 that was here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Excuse me, Bristol Dragway. Bristol Motor Speedway is a service track. Go check that out though. It's official. We are punched in. I know I have this ridiculous hat on. We're punched in, going over to get our long haul plaque. We've made it. But we didn't win the transmission, so we're heading out of Bristol Motor Speedway right now as we speak. Trying to get out of this traffic, going to the house, let you guys know if we make it. We're back. The official number is 1,214 miles. That's what we've did in the past 5 days, and basically a freshly built truck that we were working on until Friday before we left. To say that we are happy and excited is probably an understatement. I think the 5 days of travel and the heat and everything's probably kind of got us a little low, but we're actually in our minds and in excitement. We're really happy with how the truck did. I don't think you could ask for better out of the old truck. It didn't, other than just a few little oddities that having to move that vent and having that fuel leak there at the end through the fuel neck. You know, other than that, all we did was open the hood and check the oil. I mean, that was it. Worked on some fuel trims. That's something that needed to happen anyway, you know, and I was just able to do it while we were on the road. And that's just super cool. I want to thank everyone that has subscribed over the past 5 days. That's really important. I don't know if I'm able to describe that, how important that is for us to be able to keep doing this and to keep moving forward with doing this, and for me to be able to devote more time to it. We need more subscribers, and so everyone that hit that button, thank you so much. I'm going to go through the ones that have, I'm going to go through and get some names and do just a random drawing to get that t-shirt out to somebody. I'll do that sometime this weekend. I get a little caught up on a little sleep, and yeah, like I said, just thanks everyone that's watched all 5 days. Thanks everyone that's been putting in comments, and everyone that honked the horns, and everyone that gives us a thumbs up on the way there. And yeah, I don't know, like I said, what you could ask for. Yeah, maybe the venues were a little hectic, maybe they were a little disorganized, maybe it was a little hot, but it wasn't really about that, really. For us especially, we were all about that ride and being with the group of people that we were with, and honestly, we could not have selected, you know, went through and selected a group of people that were better than who we were with. No one complained. Everyone put up with my crappy navigating and my, hey, let's do this, and how about we stop here, and all of that stuff, and the times where I extended the trip probably a little longer and everyone needed to take a bathroom break, but I pushed us a little further through. It was great. I mean, it was really good, and I want to thank them for being awesome and hanging out with us and running with us the whole time. And yeah, thank you guys so much. I was thinking about it on the way home and realized, like, what's next for this channel, right? Everything that we've done, or the biggest driver for what we've done, has been in this truck, and it's been about getting it to Power Tour. So what's next? We've already talked about it on the trip home. We were already talking about what's next, what we're gonna do. First up, there's a few things that we've got to kind of wrap up on this thing to get it better. Got to fix that brake pedal. Got to fix that fuel leak at the fuel neck. Few little odds and ends that just need to be better, like the right side of the passenger seat's kind of broken down a little. That's going to wait till winter, of course. We're not going to break the truck down for that. But there's things that can improve, and things that we would have never found if we hadn't taken the 1,200 mile road trip, and things that will just make that truck that much more enjoyable to drive and that much safer, especially with the fuel leak. But the other things that we have coming is I have a 1964 Ford Galaxy. It's a 390 4-speed car. It was left to me by my great uncle. we're going to get that thing running. It hasn't run in, I don't know, 15 or 18 years. We're going to get that thing cleaned up. We're going to get it running. We're going to get make a cruiser out of it. It's going to stay bone stock, nothing radical. It's going to be exactly what it is. We're going to put some new wheels and tires on it, get it running, get it driving, get it to where I can take it out and drive it. I think it's really important to get that car going again for me. And the other big thing, and I've been driving it into Dad's head, once we get a few things picked up, get the farm cleaned up a little bit, it's full beans on the race car. We've got to get that 55 that you guys have seen in the background, all these videos, and you saw run on all the drag racing videos that we've put up. It's time to get that thing back to the racetrack. That's the car that everyone knows Dad by. It's the car that people get excited about whenever we bring it up, and we're going to get back on it. It's going back to the racetrack. We've got to take it down Greer, and it's got to run fours. So those are the two big things that we're going to be working on going forward here. The three, finishing this thing up, the Galaxy, and then the race car itself. When we get all that wrapped up, then it'll be the old multicolored truck back here. We'll work on that stuff. Stick with us, because we've still got a lot of really interesting stuff that's coming along here, and it's not going to just be just this truck. We're going to have a lot going on, a lot of different stuff. Going to just try and stay consistent with it, and hope everyone that's already here enjoys it, and I'm hoping there's a lot more people out there that's going to find us because of this different stuff that we're going to do. So everyone, if you haven't followed us on Facebook and Instagram, please do that. That also helps. We try and put up stuff as much as we can. When I go back to the real world Monday, that's probably going to slow down just a little bit, but that's okay. I'm going to still try and make as much as I can, try and make some neat videos, and keep having fun with this. So thanks everyone that's joined. Thanks everyone for watching Shift Points, and thank you everyone that's hit that subscribe button. And when it pops up in the center of the screen, make sure to hit it. We'll see you guys next week.